Coach, maybe the PK. I mean, as it's been so effective, especially without Dylan Sandberg and Adam Lowry. What can you say about it so far this season?
Too many penalties. We got way too many opportunities to practice it. No, but the big thing for me is look really in sync. All four guys, plus our goaltender, all on the same page when it comes to reads, pressure points, working on retrievals, shared clears, and getting them down the ice. I think it's
Scott. Sorry, with all the new faces coming in, that it would take a little bit longer time for them to get on sync.
Not necessarily. I think that the guys that were here last year, we're familiar with it. Had a real good idea of what we were talking about doing. That was new to them last year, especially early on, and I think that this year those guys have helped the new guys kind of come in and pick it up. We tried to make sure in training camp that we got some real good reps in practice, but we also made sure we used those guys that were new that we were going to look at. Tanner Pearson, Kepke, those type of guys, get them out there and see, get them in situations where we can keep teaching them before the season started.
Seems like every year there are maybe a few more penalties called early in the year, but are there some things on the discipline side? No, I don't think so. They can't find me. They can't find me. I don't think. Are there some things on the discipline side you'd like to see from your?
Yeah, for me, we always talk about checking with your legs. Keep sticks off people. You get a little bit rattled at times when they're in the offensive zone. Some of those penalties, that's a big fine. But to me, it's those, stick infractions, getting on the wrong side of people and then trying to use your stick to catch back up. So, it does happen quite a bit. There's a lot of calls early on in the season, and guys kind of get a feel for what's kind of going on. And I think there's areas where we can clean up. But at the end of the day, if they're aggressive penalties and there's things that happen to save goals, you have to do what you have to do. But I think we can clean that up a little bit.
When it comes to the penalty killing, it's going great guns right now. Is there a point in the season where you expect it as opposed to, this is a great start for us, but I want this all the time? Or is there,
I think I've said to you guys since when I came in here last year, your specialty teams have to be a factor for you. Last year our power play was really good, but especially early on when our penalty kill was trying to find its way. Our penalty kill got real good in the second half, but I think that at the end of the day, the other night in Calgary was a perfect example. There was so many penalties. There was 0 going on, 5-on-5. There was no flow to that game, and our penalty kill, hung in there and did the job. That was one of the most. One of the games with the most chances for on our power play that we didn't score. We had close to 15 opportunities. Dustin Wolf had a lot to say about that, but at the end of the day, a power play goal is what got us back in that game. And so I'd like to think that game was a good example where our specialty teams won us the hockey game.
There was a lot of consistency in your forward lines last year, and you're having a chance to play around a little bit more this year. Is that kind of fun as a coach to be able to kind of look around and find connections?
I like to have Lowry and Perfetti and Sandberg. There was obviously it's a hand you're dealt coming out of training camp. It is nice to have opportunities to try guys in different areas and continue to win hockey games. I think that if you throw the 3 young guys in, we got 7 new guys up front, and so those guys getting them experience in October, November is huge, and we'll see where we are when we're healthy, but just these guys being able to contribute to what we're doing, getting them, like you said about the lines, sometimes they scramble, they change. And you're just trying to find maybe some, on the road there's some matchups that maybe happen. At home it gets a little different for me. So it's just kind of feeling it out, and it's a good opportunity for me to see what each guy can do.
What did you see from Brad? And I know his ice time is limited, but
that was part about it. He'll stay in the lineup. It was nothing much we could do in the sense that there was so many penalties, but he didn't get a lot of ice time. But liked a lot of what he did. Using his speed. He had a couple of looks there. Making some plays down the offensive zone, and was responsible without the puck, playing to our structure. So hopefully it's not such a penalty-filled game on Thursday.
Set so many records, pardon me, I'm hiding. You got Scheif and Morrissey setting records of late. How much do you compare current Jets records to Winnipeg versus Arizona versus Atlanta?
Yeah, the 1.0, 2.0, I mean, tough one for me because I played in the first one. So I don't know. I think at the end of the day Scheif will end up catching probably the top guy from 1.0. I think that's just part of, the sort of the craziness of an organization losing their team and then getting it back again. And I don't put a lot of thought into it. I think it's great that, this guy like Josh was here and Buff was here and, he had a chance to pass him. I think those are interesting, kind of cool things. And when it comes to all that other stuff, I think that it's hard to get a read on with having three sort of organizations involved in it.
Just back to the PK for a moment. I think the other day you were talking about how important it is that not just that all four guys move. And I wonder if you can explain, without giving away trade secrets, that it's not just the guy facing the puck, but you've got three other guys rotating every time.
Yeah, I think that, there's only so many sort of looks that come from a power play. I think it's execution, shot, retrievals, those type of things we talk about our power play always doing. And that's why our power play has success, because we do those things repetitively. It's the same thing. PK knows that if a certain team is in a setup, if that's a 1-3-1 or if it's an overload one-time set, we have an idea where the next plays are, and that's kind of being that one step ahead. And when it goes to the goal line, what are those options going to be? Who are the most dangerous people? Well, we know it's not the guy at the blue line. So it's our four against their four, and how quickly we get over top of that. So it's reads that happen, and I think the guys are Dean's done a really good job of getting these guys to anticipate what the opposition, let's say it's a Stamkos with a with Forsberg and that kind of look that they have, where Forsberg's a strong side shot, where Stamkos is a one-timer. We kind of anticipate and have an idea what their next plays are going to be, and that's part of that anticipation of the four guys. And you're always trying to create 4-on-4s, and if it's a guy that's at the net front is left alone because you're pressuring on the other four, if it's a guy on top at the blue line because you're moving at the other guys down low, then those are the type of reads that you see.
Scott, what stood out to you about Nino Niederreiter's start to the year here?
Yeah, I mean, for him, I guess one of the biggest changes is two guys he's played with his whole time in Winnipeg aren't here or aren't playing right now, and Apple being with Detroit and Lau not being in the lineup, I think he's done a real good job of having to kind of figure out his centerman and his line mates, and it can be hard to do, but he's been consistent. He's a big man, and he knows how to play. He knows what his role is, and both 5-on-5 and on the power play, and he's been playing it.
Was Morgan Barron not out there today?
Did you see him?
Is there an update on that?
Day to day. Day to day.